Hello and welcome to my channel. How are you all doing? Like you can see, I've had a lovely time traveling to Egypt. So come along with me to see how my trip went. It was the first time I was traveling alone in a decade, and there hasn't been a day without my boys beside me. So it was difficult for me to leave them for this trip. I was traveling with a group of ladies and I didn't know anyone in the group. Our flight was from Abu Dhabi and we had transportation from Dubai and Sharjah. That's the beautiful view of UAE. And here goes the view of Egypt. The first thing that we all got to experience was the very cold breeze after landing. The visa process was very smooth and we all got our baggages on time. And we also exchanged our currencies from there. Most of us had our UAE dirhams changed into US dollars and we changed the dollars into Egyptian pound once we landed here. Egyptian visa has to be done through the council submission for us Indians, so it was done by our travel agency. We had landed in Alexandria's Burj Al Arab airport. It was very chilly and we were all shivering, so we quickly got into the bus. Our bus ride to the hotel took around 45 minutes to an hour. Most of the ladies were asleep by this time as it was around 3 in the morning, and most of us didn't sleep in the flight as well. Meanwhile, I enjoyed watching all the scenic view that this new country had to offer. Our guide had specially told us to take in Egypt as it is and not to compare it with our Dubai life. At last we reached our hotel. This was a 4-star hotel and they had a wonderful service. We stayed at the Club Mahrousa, and one odd thing that I experienced was, like I said, it was around 10 degrees and the hotel was just opposite to the Mediterranean Sea with the winds blowing in, and they welcomed us with iced juice. Our guide had already told us that not to deny whatever was given to us, so I think most of us drank the juice just to show our courtesy. Yeah, I guess once in a while we all do need to experience such new things. And here goes the room tour. And the person that you saw before was my roommate for the whole trip, and she was pretty excited to see our large room and was running around exploring the place. It was super dark outside, so we couldn't see anything from our balcony, and my roommate reminded me that we were supposed to get a seaside view. We also got a very spacious washroom as well. Now that was my morning view. I was waiting for our roomie to go get our breakfast. We had a lavish spread. There was pastries and that flaky puff is the Egyptian bread. We also got falafels, fool and strawberry labneh, omelette, cheese, salads. The breakfast was amazing. Only one disappointment that I had was a lot of food got wasted just as they were individually wrapped for each one of us. After breakfast, we headed upstairs and got to see this beautiful view. The Mediterranean Sea in all its glory. Some of the ladies got the sea view for their room, and they were saying that it was too cold in their room at night as the cold wind from the sea was directly blowing into their rooms and they couldn't sleep properly. So in that way, I felt it was a blessing for us. Later on, we wandered around the lobby and outside and took lots of photos. We all got into the bus and were excited to begin our adventure. And that is the hotel that we stayed. We even spotted a KFC while passing by. I think seeing familiar things do make us feel happy. This bridge was recently built, and yesterday while coming I got to see it, and that was the most beautiful sight that I saw in this entire trip, and I don't even have a photo of it. It was all lit up and the waves were coming in and crashing on the beach down below. Wow, it was a wonderful view. And that is the tram. These are actually some of the nice views that are captured about the city. It's basically a poor country and people even live in villas and buildings which look like they may fall apart any minute. And just as we were about to reach our first destination, we could see people simply sitting, smoking and playing games, which is a sight we usually don't get to see here in Dubai. We have reached our first site, and it is the Catacombs of Kom El Shoqafa. Everybody got excited and started clicking pictures right away. The dome that you see there is where we are heading, and that's the catacombs. At first sight, it just looked like a well, and then we all climbed down. This was actually a burial site, and I was wonderstruck by seeing all that carvings on the rock. That's Sari, our archaeologist and guide for the day, and he was describing in detail about all these carvings. Here he explained that we could see the mummification process being carried out and how the soul of the king was being escorted to the underworld. He also mentioned that till date no one knows the exact procedure about mummification, and he said that all the facts that we get to read is just guesswork done by the archaeologists and scientists. I had only seen these on screen or in books, and now I felt like fulfilling my childhood dream. Like I said, it was a burial site and they used to place the bodies in this area. You can also see separate rooms like these, but I'm not sure if they kept the bodies of anyone special or if they kept the canopic jars of organs after the mummification process. This was built during the 2nd century AD and was in use until the 4th century, and it was later discovered in the 1900s. But the funniest part is it was discovered by a donkey when it fell through a shaft. The term Kom El Shoqafa means mounds of shards, because when they found this place, they found lots of broken terracotta jars and objects. The objects were left behind by people who used to visit the tombs, and they used to bring wine and food for their consumption, and they did not wish to carry it back home as they came from the place of the dead. So they used to break it there and leave it. The catacombs were made for a single family, but then they extended it. Reasons unknown. Now Mr. Sari brought us into another hall called the Hall of Caracalla. It had the bones of horses, and this hall was used as a tomb for the horses of the Emperor Caracalla in 215 AD. He also mentioned another story where he said some ruler or lord, he didn't like the locals, so he killed the people who were against him and added their bones to the ones with the horses. Next, we were taken to the Tigran tomb. This is not part of the catacombs, but they were excavated from somewhere and placed it here by the UNESCO organization as a part of preserving it. Inside we can see some pictures of the most preserved colors and ink carvings which are dated back to the 3rd century AD, and it also belongs to one of the Roman emperors, Tigran. That heart-shaped red granite stone was brought all the way from Aswan, that was 800 kilometers south of Alexandria, and it was brought here through the Nile. After exploring this place and peeping into this empty sarcophagus, we all took lots of photos and decided to head towards our next destination. Stay tuned to watch more videos and do subscribe. Don't forget to comment down below and give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Please share it with your loved ones as well. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.